Hello and welcome to Dressing with Confidence Feel Better Friday. I'm really glad you have joined us today from wherever you are. I hope you're in the comfort of your home and you are feeling good. My name is Emma John and I'm really pleased you have joined us today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So what are you doing here today? Well, you have joined us. I am a personal stylist and have been so for nearly 10 years now. And my whole ethos is to help women feel more fabulous and confident through style. And I really want to do this through colour and through helping them feel confident in what they wear. But most importantly for you, I'm also a recent cancer thriver, and I found Look Good, Feel Better through my cancer journey and found that the classes were invaluable to me, and part of me giving back is also working now with Look Good, Feel Better to become a facilitator. And one of the ways I do that is helping coach women through style and helping draw on my experience through my own cancer journey and teaching confidence through style while going through cancer. So a little bit more about me. On my journey through cancer, I learned that style really helped my confidence while going through cancer, because I learned that cancer takes away so much from us, doesn't it? And we mistrust our bodies and we feel so bereft of the changes that surgeries, chemotherapy, radiotherapy can do to our bodies. And one of the things that I really leant on were my learnings from being a stylist, through colour, through dopamine dressing, and through the architecture of clothes and what they can do for us. And I want to teach you some of those tips and tricks today. So I hope the 5 tips and tricks that I can coach you on today will help you, uplift you, and leave you with a feel better moment. So all of the things that I teach you today have been user tested by me, so please do feel that I'm not just speaking out of nowhere, and I can tell you that all of them have been tried and tested. So let's get going. Please feel free to ask any questions you like throughout the session. I am here to answer those questions for you, and let's get going. So as I said, cancer takes away so much from us, and one of the things that I did was use style to help bring back my confidence. I found that because I didn't know so much about what I was doing, I found that my life was in the hands of my medical team. One of the things that I could control was what I wore each day. And after the initial shock of the cancer diagnosis, what I leant on was having a little bit of control over what I wore. So what I found was that I could do this by outfit planning, but also by adopting some really important tips and tricks that I'm going to teach you today. And I'm going to say that these are really easy tips and tricks. I'm not going to make you go out and buy a whole new wardrobe. One of the things that I want to firstly start off with is, number 1, your first trick is to embrace comfort, first and foremost. Now you've probably done this, but on top of comfort, I want you to bring in colour. Now this doesn't have to mean that you have to suddenly wear colours that you don't love. Definitely bring in the colours that you do. Often, if you're going through chemotherapy, for instance, the colour might be leached from your face in particular. Bringing colour in is actually going to enliven you a little bit. It's going to bring colour back into your complexion, and it's actually going to probably do a wonderful job of boosting your mood. So first and foremost, I want you to think about comfort and then bring in a little bit of colour. So if you combine those two, you'll find that actually you can do that really easily by, say, wearing, so you may have guessed, my favourite colour is pink. Yours doesn't have to be, but I have got just a really easy, soft pair of elasticated waist. So when I'm talking about comfort, I'm talking about getting yourself a pair of really easy, casual pants, something that's not going to obstruct you, particularly when you're going through chemotherapy, radiotherapy, or you're recovering from surgeries. So loungewear, tracksuit pants, lounge pants, anything like this in cottons, natural fibres, breathable fabrics. Something like this is such a handy thing that you can feel great in, especially if you are at home a lot, or that you can receive visitors in, feel great in, but also attend medical appointments. So I found these sorts of pants really easy to wear. And then comfort includes something like this, which is just a really cozy, snuggly cardigan that I also wore with just a plain white t-shirt. And then together, they look absolutely sensational, but I felt really great in it. And then the combination together looks awesome. So I want you to think about comfort and colour, combining the two, or comfort and colour or pattern. So those two add for something a little bit more exciting than just wearing black or perhaps a plainer colour. The next tip I want to talk to you about is dopamine dressing. So dopamine dressing is something that you may have heard of before, or it may be a new concept to you. Dopamine dressing, though, is the art of dressing for joy. Now, a lot of people believe that dopamine dressing means that you have to wear bright colours. Now, as you can see, I love wearing bright colours, but this doesn't mean that you have to, not at all. Dopamine dressing, as I said, is the art of dressing for joy for you. So I want you to think about what are the colours that you love. Now, you're going through cancer, it's a really tough time, I understand this. What I found though is that I really leant in during my journey through cancer into wearing bright colours, and it absolutely directly affected my mood in a northerly direction. So I found when I wore the bright colours, or the colours that I truly loved, that my mood lifted in a good way. So what I would love you to think about is when you're feeling in a blue state, when you're not feeling great, try and think about wearing colours that uplift you. And that can mean also an outfit that you feel good in. Another way to do this is also to think, you're going through a really tough time right now. Don't save those outfits for good. Now is the time that you deserve to wear them. If you've been saving an outfit for a while now and you think, oh, I wish I could wear that, wear it, you know? So there's something like this, perhaps a very special caftan that you've been thinking, I'm going to save that for my trip to Fiji. Don't save it for your trip to Fiji. Pop it on with a merino, pop it on with a pair of jeans, and wear it to your next oncology appointment. One of the things that I found was really fun for me, I'm not sure it was fun for anyone else, but I ended up getting dressed up every chemo day, and it really helped me to plan ahead. It also had a great way to start talking with my chemo nurses, and so every third week of the chemo sessions, my nurses would be going, what is she going to be wearing today? And so each session I would wear something different, quite bold, quite eccentric, but for me it really helped me plan ahead. And so I would like to challenge you perhaps, is to think about maybe thinking, what can I wear to my next oncology appointment, my next chemo appointment, my next surgical appointment, something that you've got to do that isn't potentially that fun, but that you can take the power back from cancer and wear something a little bit more bold. Emily, I love hearing from you. I have a stunning sequin dress I have not got to wear yet. Yes to the next appointment. I love that, Emily. And this is the thing, I can guarantee you, Emily, you are going to feel sensational. And if you're going to feel a little bit like, oh, the sequins might be a bit too much, you could sort of tone it down a little bit with a denim jacket, or put a cardigan over it just to mute it down a bit. But I say wear the sequins during the day, girl. You're going to feel fantastic. And I can guarantee you that you're probably going to have a really uplifting day wearing those sequins. Awesome, Emily. I love to see that. The next thing I want to talk about, the next tip that I want to talk about is a button-down shirt. Now, I hadn't been a huge shirt wearer prior to my cancer diagnosis. I was a breast cancer sufferer, and so button-down shirts weren't something that I had worn a lot of. They are now one of my favourite style pieces. So this was the first shirt I actually bought myself. It's an oversized button-down shirt, two-tone. You can probably tell again, it's in my favourite two colours, pink and red, and it continues to be one. So this has been in my wardrobe now for nearly 3 years. The reason I love a button-down shirt for breast cancer sufferers, but also anyone going through any sort of surgery, from stomach, breast, anywhere in the upper regions, it's going to be really convenient for you to wear when you're having surgical appointments, because it means you don't have to get fully undressed, and so that you can have a modicum of kind of modesty. And I found it really convenient so that I didn't have to get fully undressed, and I could just unbutton, take off my top, just open it up, and then close it back up again. I also found it really helpful during chemo. I could roll up the sleeves. The other thing too is that shirts are really handy for being sun smart if you're going through chemotherapy during summer, particularly cotton ones, because they're breathable, they're really light and airy, and you can put the collar up. So if you are going through chemotherapy now in winter, you may not have experienced a summer yet, and so what I found really challenging was keeping the neck sun safe. So that was where a shirt becomes really handy, even in winter as well, but a shirt becomes really handy to cover that part of your neck in summer. So the other thing too is you simply just roll up the sleeves to get a little bit more shape. You can tuck it in if you like, and you can even tie it just with the looser ends at the bottom here. So tying it can be really helpful if you need just a little bit more shape at the waist. Otherwise, just wear it loose. The other thing too, if you want a full kind of dramatic dopamine hit, then, don't be shy. I'd wear it like this. But if you're wanting something a little bit more muted, then this with a pair of jeans or a pair of black pants, navy pants, would also look just as sensational. But having a button-up or button-down shirt is a really key essential, I believe, when going through treatment. Sun smart, cooling, really versatile, helpful for going through treatment, and just a really smart idea to have in your wardrobe. And so many places are doing them. They don't have to be a huge expense. A lot of retailers are doing them right now. And my tip at the moment, the shops in New Zealand are doing amazing sales. So they have extended them right through winter. I've been really surprised as a stylist. So do keep a lookout and shop sales now, and take a look out for lots of bargains. Alrighty, next up are PJs and loungewear. Now, one of the things that I did invest in was a set of summer and a set of winter pajamas. The reason I did both was because I went through winter and summer during my treatment, but also because I had to be in a warm room post my mastectomy, I actually needed a pair of cotton pajamas, which was really handy. But also, I spend a lot of time recovering and a lot of time sitting around at home and in bed recovering, and a lot of time in hospitals. So I found myself getting a pair of lovely satin pajamas, which I felt was also great to see visitors. Now, I bought these before I realised that I was not going to be able to see visitors, because I went through treatment during the height of Omicron, and so I wasn't allowed to see any visitors. But I highly recommend these for those of you that are now able to see people while they're going through treatment. So these are just a Peter Alexander pair, but there's lots of places that you can get a beautiful satin pair of pajamas. I also recommend a pair of cotton pajamas for cooler days, or for those of you that are going into hospital and need to be a little bit cooler or in a cooler room. Just a little tip there to make sure that you don't get caught out or have another pair when you're going into hospital. Another thing that I found really helpful is to have a glamorous robe. One of the things that can you tell that pink and leopard print are my favourites? So leopard print is my favourite and signature print, but a robe really was very, very helpful, because I found that when I was in hospital and they get you up to walk around, I found that I needed a robe just to make me feel a little bit more, alert and alive. And so a robe was also one of those things that I could feel a little bit more confident with, and it made me feel like I wasn't such a patient. A lot of the tips and tricks that I'm sharing with you today really do come back to me taking control of the situation. I found that cancer took so much away from me, and one of the things that my style helping tricks does or do is to bring back a little bit of the control that cancer took away. So I hope that that's some of the things that you feel these tricks are giving you back as well. Now, one of the last two tricks that we're going to recommend for you is lipstick. Now, I love lipstick, always have. It's one of the few pieces of makeup that I always make sure to wear. And going through chemotherapy, when the colour leaches from your face, I always found that putting on lipstick, particularly if your eyelashes and your eyebrows go, your lips are always there. So I always found that wearing a beautiful kind of rose lipstick was always one thing that made me feel really, really good. And so every morning I would put on a little bit of lipstick just to liven up my face. And then this is a lovely little Bobbi Brown one. And then if you're doing any of the Look Good, Feel Better makeup classes, then you might be lucky enough to get one of the lipsticks in your kit. And I would highly recommend doing the makeup classes, because my gosh, the tips and tricks that I learnt in their classes were amazing, and they sit with me still. I was never a big makeup girly, and now I actually learnt so much about doing my eyes and learning about how to do my eyebrows, drawing on my eyebrows. So I highly recommend doing one of the classes. But also getting a really great lip moisturiser. So moisturising your lips and putting on a little bit of lipstick, it will do wonders for your confidence. So doing all of these steps and then adding some lipstick will do absolute wonders for boosting your confidence, making you feel good, and ensuring that your confidence is skyrocketing. And then one of the second to last things I wanted to say was a really quick win that you can do if you are just feeling like you need a little zhuzh in your outfit and you've got quite a plain outfit on, but you want to add a little bit of a zhuzh to your outfit. You might have like a little oblong scarf at home. I would just fold it in half lengthways, like that. You could just pop it over your shoulder, like that. Wrap it around. And then you've just arrange it over your shoulder and drape it. And what this does is just add a little bit of colour to your outfit. You've got quite a plain base potentially, perhaps not with my blues today, but if you've got a plain base on, perhaps a black and white or grey base on, but you need that injection of colour and you've got a whole lot of scarves lying around at home, this is a way that you can boost up your colour, a way that you can boost up your outfit and make yourself feel a little bit more confident by adding a scarf that you haven't worn before. It can also double as something that you can feel a little bit warmer in when you're going in through treatment, and a way that you can zhuzh things up without trying too hard. So this is a really great tip. I always love to have a scarf on me during chemotherapy, so this was always something I had with me. So I think this is a really good little hack. And then lastly, for our Feel Better Friday, I'm going to show you one of my quick hacks on how to tie a square silk scarf on your head. So if you've got, do follow me along, if you've got a square silk scarf at home, go grab it and I'll show you how. So basically this is just a handkerchief kind of scarf, and then you fold it so it's a triangle, and I called this the madge. This was one of the first ways I learnt when I had no hair. I have hair now, so it's going to look a little different, but this is one of the first ways I learnt to wear a scarf when I was bald, and I absolutely loved it. And I called it the madge because it reminded me of one of the characters of Coronation Street when my grandmother used to watch Coronation Street. So I call it the madge. So basically you put it over your head like that, and then you bring it all to the front and you simply tie it like that, and you've got a little flappy bit there, so you can either leave it hanging down and fix it up later, or fold it back over and then tie it under. That's not playing ball. I'm doing this blind, guys. Tie it like that. And then you just tie a big knot and bow on the top. And then you tuck in the sides. And I have to say, it looks much better when you don't have hair. I actually think it looks much better when you don't have hair. I can see a little bit of me, but this is called the madge, and it's one of the scarves that I wore the most when I was completely bald. But I think it is one of the ways that you can get use out of your scarves at home. They are also often available, these silk scarves, from op shops. You could raid your grandmother's or your parents' scarf, allocation. They are often found, as I said, at op shops though, so do have a rummage. They can be really useful to cover your bald head. They can give you a colour injection. They can be also, if you don't like them on your head, then they also can be used as a belt. They can be used to wrap around a handbag. They can be used as a bracelet. You could wrap them around your wrist. They can also be used as a necklace. So there's lots of ways that you can use a scarf, and I still love to wear this scarf in lots of different various ways because I love the print, I love the colour, and so there's so many ways that I still want to incorporate this scarf in my life because I've become so attached to it. And so the Madge, one of the wonderful ways that I've used the scarf over the last 3 years. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed that. If you've got any questions, do ask it now. Otherwise, I'm going to sign off. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me for this very quick style session on Feel Better Friday. I hope you've had a wonderful time. Hope you've learned a few things. So just remember, we've got those 5 things. Embrace comfort and colour, first and foremost. Remember, dopamine dressing is all about dressing for joy for you. Remember that button-down shirts are a great addition for you because they will be sun smart. They are a great addition for while you're going through treatment. PJs and loungewear are a great investment for you while going through treatment. And lipsticks and adding colour to your face are a wonderful, wonderful tool while you're going through treatment as well. And don't forget, a square silk scarf can be an incredible style tool for you and an easy style win for colour and also while you're going through recovery and also post-cancer life. So thank you so much for joining us today on Feel Better Friday and have a really lovely weekend. Bye.